Welcome, captains of industry.
To Geek Salad.
Oh, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Review.
Yeah. I'm Mike.
And I'm Chester Lampwick, original creator of Itchy and Scratchy.
Paint my chicken coop.
I'm not greedy. Now I'm going to get myself a plate of liver and onions. Well, I'm Andy, and we are here to talk. We're going to kick off our Oscar season. Usually every year we do the Best Picture winners, and we have a fun time doing that. This year we're doing something completely different because I feel like all we're doing now is losing. We are going to be talking about this month runners-up.
Yeah.
The movies that maybe should have won Best Picture. Like, legitimately should have won Best Picture.
I think in this case, yeah, it definitely should have won.
Yeah. But we figured we couldn't do this alone. Plus, we needed to get him in on a good movie. Our good friend, Kurt Smith. Welcome back, Kurt.
Hiya, folks.
All right. So we are talking today about Citizen Kane. Today, when I was writing up the Blue Sky description, I had to double check just to make sure this was still the #1 movie on AFI's top 100 movies list. And it still is. And as problematic as that list is when you really delve deep into it, and I've seen plenty of videos that will break down why the AFI top 100 sucks. I will say straight up, I haven't seen this movie probably in about 30 years.
Oh, wow.
It's been a long time since I watched this movie from like soup to nuts. This movie is a goddamned masterpiece.
Really is.
Yeah, it was Orson Welles stepping up to the plate, his first at bat, and hitting a home run. This is his directorial debut.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But like,
and then,
and
then William Randolph Hearst calling a foul.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it's hilarious that he called foul.
Yeah,
Piece of shit.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me because Kurt, you're right. This is his directorial debut.
Yeah,
and it's like, he was head of the Mercury Players.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the heads of the WPA group. That's better than me. I've never seen it like Casablanca. It's been parodied so many times over the Joe.
You know what? Much like the Dark Knight and Iron Man, I use this comparison all the time, but this movie for me is the Dark Knight and Iron Man is Casablanca. I think this movie is a better movie than Casablanca. I would much rather watch Casablanca.
Yes. This isn't, like we were talking about with Godzilla -1 last week. It's like the Schindler's List of Godzilla movies.
Yeah.
I mean, with this one, it really is just kind of a, you watch it because it's Oscar season, or you have to introduce a film nut who's never seen it. But as I was saying earlier, Wells was a theater director.
Yeah.
So when you go back and you watch this movie and see the eye that he had for a visual medium, I couldn't get over how good the visual aesthetic of this movie is.
Yeah, it helps Greg Toland shot it because Greg Toland's like one of the greatest cinematographers who ever lived.
Yep.
And like the beginning scene when Charles Foster Kane dies and the snowball falls down and you see the reflection of the nurse coming into his room through the glass. It's such a great shot. And then towards the end of the movie when he's like walking past the mirror, it's just an infinite reflection. It's just such great shots, and it's a greatly lit movie, and it's just a beautifully shot movie.
The way he uses light, like the whole scene where he's dictating his what was it, his thing of purpose, or no, his declaration of you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Essentially,
he's giving his mission statement.
Yeah, when he's dictating that, like both Leland and Mr. Bernstein are lit. He's in the dark the entire time he's saying that.
Kitty.
Hey, Pippin. Declaration of Values.
Declaration of Values.
But whenever while he's saying that, while he's saying what's going to be in it, he's in the dark, and you can see Leland just look at him. It's like Leland. No, that's why I like Leland. My favorite character is Leland.
Yeah,
he knows. Yeah. He knew Kane probably better than anybody else, and he knew. Yeah, dude, I know what you're saying. You do not mean a thing that you're saying.
Yeah.
It's what I think endears this movie is the fact that the cast is so close knit because they were all Mercury Players people, and that really shows. It shows a lot in this. And if you've ever seen the Magnificent Ambersons, same thing, virtually the same cast. Wells is the narrator in that one. And it's a very hard movie to find, especially if you want to find the full, like the Wells cut, because there was a studio cut. But you know, as we all learned from watching Ed Wood when Vincent D'Onofrio was voiced over by Maurice LaMarche, that the only movie the studio didn't have any control over was Citizen Kane. He wouldn't let him touch a second of it. In
fact, when he came to Hollywood, the studio actually gave him an unprecedented, complete control over this movie. Like, they couldn't do a thing. Everything he wanted, he got, and nobody has had that kind of deal before that or since that.
Yeah,
he's
honestly,
rush of filmmaking.
Yeah.
They don't touch his stuff.
I mean, it ended up biting him in the ass because this movie was a financial failure, but mainly due to the Hearst boycotts and.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's the only reason why this movie flopped. This movie would have probably done gangbusters of business. So that's why this movie gets, So there's always a repertoire cinema somewhere in the United States or around the world that will show Citizen Kane probably 5 times in a year, and it's probably the most business they'll see because it's such a. Oh. Doing his brain voice.
Yeah, that's how I hear it. That's how I hear it in my head whenever I'm doing the episode of it's always Maurice LaMarche.
Yeah, the episode of Pinky and the Brain.
Oh,
hey!
James is awesome.
Brain where he's doing like the yes always. That his entire speech, his entire script from that one is pretty much word from word what Orson Welles did.
Oh yeah. I do love the it's good fresh penis. Wait, sounds terrible.
Thank God, there's a French fry stuck in my beard. Yeah, I watched that bit too when you guys asked if I wanted to come on.
Yeah, but if you really want a good laugh at, unfortunately, the real Orson Welles, watch his Julio Gecko. Like the multiple takes where he's just getting
it's housed
shit-faced. And he's just like, this is a happy drunk right now.
No, this is a fine wine. What do you mean I can't take off my shirt? I'm hot.
I'm hot, goddammit. Give me a cigar.
But yeah, we talk about Hearst and his, because obviously there's a lot of influence or a lot of like William Randolph Hearst and Charles Foster Kane, right down to the 3 names.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Yeah, it absolutely does. But there's also 2 other people that he kind of put into. Oh, the real taste of the commercial layers. Yeah, I was gonna say I love that commercial so much. But there's 2 barons or 2 like these 2 like turn of the century guys who he also like combined into Charles Foster Kane, especially Samuel Insull. Samuel Insull was a big like James loves Listomania, the Ken Russell movie. So he's him and one of the other guys in Dan's Discord. They always talk about that stuff. But yeah, Samuel Insull, who's like was responsible for building like a lot of the electric rails in Chicago, like the North Shore, the South Shore, some of the L stuff. building this Chicago Opera House, which is what Charles Foster Kane does, and he did it Samuel Insull did it specifically for his wife, who was like he was twice her age.
Yeah.
It built it for her to sing in, and I don't think she could carry a tune in a bucket. So yeah, that's what. And then there was Harold McCormick, the McCormick family, McCormick Place. The McCormick family also at the time owned the Chicago Tribune. Big freaking industrialist who probably built most of the city of Chicago. Some of the current buildings that are still standing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a lot. Yeah, those three specifically, but there's a lot of William Randolph Hearst and Charles Foster Kane, like the yellow journalism, which
Kane's line, like, you provide the prose, I'll provide the war. That pretty much is exactly what Hearst said.
Yeah, because because Charles Foster Kane helped speed up the Spanish-American War.
Yeah.
And there's always that theory that William Randolph Hearst did too. But yeah, like the yellow journalism, which that doesn't happen today, and I'm really glad that yellow journalism is we just done away with it, and it's just never happened, and it's
never been an issue ever again.
No.
Yeah, I going back to like the whole thing with Susan and essentially building a career for her, that she pretty much quickly realizes she doesn't want.
Yeah.
But the fact he needs to be
yeah.
Those halcyon old days of our ignorance. He desperately needs to be the puppet master. He needs to control everything, even if it's continuing to write a bad review for her.
Yeah.
I mean, when she's demanding to quit, and he says, "I will not be made a fool of." It's like, oh, this is about you. No, this is about me.
So it's going to be about him.
Yeah. I mean,
oh boy, yeah.
Kind of going back to William Randolph Hearst a little bit though, is it wasn't completely Wells kind of brought this a little bit on himself because Rosebud was apparently famously William Randolph Hearst's nickname for his mistress / wife's.
Yeah,
and the choice of using Rosebud as a big thing,
it all makes sense now.
So, I think Hearst's response might have been a little justified to a certain extent.
Yeah, but at the same time too, he deserves to have. Oh, I'll have a side order of split Piazzadora soup. But yeah, he deserved to be kind of to be vilified because again he was like all that mattered to him was just selling newspapers.
Yeah.
It's again no different than our state of modern journalism now. It's William Randolph Hearst. Never sympathized with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted peas right before. Bring me some peas. Make sure they have that good for penis.
Road. But William Randolph Hearst would have lived for the internet age of journalism where it's just all about clicks now.
Right.
He would have thrived in this day and age like he did back in the 1920s when he was running his I think it was like the Chicago Herald or one of the just like these big chains of newspapers across the country where he lived in a stately palatial palace which I love the fact they call Charles Foster Kane's Xanadu,
the whole scene where he has where they're deciding between the two headlines, Kane elected or fraud at polls. You never see those things anymore.
Not at all.
No, we never saw that in 2024, 2020, or 2016.
No, never.
Yeah, never. Time is a closed loop, gentlemen. Time is a closed loop.
Mm-hmm.
I will. What's funny too is watching the scene at the beginning when they're explaining how he came into the money. First of all, immediately my brain went to Bobo.
Oh, yeah.
We still have his brother George.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not somehow many.
Yeah, it'll make sense.
It's supposed to be funny when I'm an old man.
So, but
Which I
it
just
was
watched that
just
episode the
how
other day.
deathly serious that
Yeah.
scene is, and I mean, it should
Oh
be serious,
God.
but I thought they
Yeah.
played it so well because
Mhm.
the one thing I love about this movie is that the melodrama itself doesn't feel like
No.
melodrama. This
No.
isn't over. This is not a movie that's overacted.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Especially to 1940 standards.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah, like
And-
when he yells, "I'm Charles Foster Kane," like he could have like just milked it so bad, but he plays it so perfectly. Like he puffs his chest out, and he's like, but yeah, he played it so perfectly. And following him down the stairs, I'm gonna send you to Sing Sing. I'm going to send you to Sing Sing, and then he shuts the door, and then you hear like cuts it off. It's just it's so perfect.
Yeah, I mean the fact that they all came from radio, and with radio, you probably don't have to be as like large as if you're stage actors, but I mean a lot of them were were stage actors as well.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that the Mercury players were the Mercury radio players. Most of them probably came out of the WPA. And it's a testament to how would they all work together. That this was.
It's amazing. It's amazing to me.
He needed a cast he could completely trust.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing to me. Orson Welles went 1938 to scaring the holy shit out of the United States to making this a few years later.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to see that movie. Wells, that asshole.
I think it's also
I should send him my cleaning bill for the piss in my pants.
I think it's like fascinating too, the fact that the first 12 minutes of this movie are pretty much dedicated to tell you exactly what you're going to see in the rest of the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
They had that news article, and that basically says, okay, this is what happened, and this is what happened. This is all the stuff you're going to see in the next hour and 45 minutes.
Yep. We're just going to see it build up. We're going to get those eyewitness testimonials, the people that were there. This stuff with Susan, who just fantastic performance.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact that there were only 3 people in the movie that actually called him Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Susan, Leland, and his father.
Yeah.
And you could tell that those were only 3 people that really knew and even loved him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
25. He was 20. He was 25 when Citizen Kane came out. Which, yeah.
Yeah. Don't.
I've wasted my life. I'm 34 years old.
I'm going to be 53 in 2 months, or 2 months.
I'll be 34. I'll be 34 in May. So
yeah, bit
I'm
of a
comfortably right in between the two of you.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. There was a cinematography, like a certain camera angle that Greg Tolan uses. I think it's called a split diopter shot a lot.
Oh yeah,
both characters are in focus. You see it. You see it in Jaws, and you see it in Carrie, and you see it in a lot of other especially a lot in De Palma's stuff. But they're just 53. Oh God.
Same, Joe. What's your date? 22nd.
20. Oh, but yeah. The camera work on in this movie was I think that was like the first time they had like done split diopter shots like that. This movie is a marvel in March 28th.
28th. All right. Cool.
This movie's a marvel in creating cinematography angles or how to light stuff well. The lighting in this movie is amazing to me.
There are even some shots where Wells wanted the camera being up in the newsroom, and they couldn't do that, so they actually had to tear up the floorboards, dig a hole, and then film it that way.
Yep. By the way, I just wanted to point out to Jana's comment about tabloid journalism and how that is something really attributed to Hearst as well. And if there were a follow up to Citizen Kane from years later, which by the way would be awful, but explaining that's but that's Nick Frost's birthday. Oh, okay, cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, it's just that what Kane has wrought upon the American people,
right,
and the fact too that they make him more than just the publisher. He runs railroads. He is he's doing mining and all that, and that makes a lot of sense too because it explains just the obscene amount of wealth.
Yeah,
and again, can't believe we're having this conversation in the year of our Lord 2025. How much money can just disease a mind?
Who is Elon Musk?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Whoa.
No, whoa. No, it's from the heart. We got to do it from the heart.
Oh yeah, sorry. What was I gonna say? Yeah, but just
but he's like this industrialist, like the turn of the century kind of thing. It's just that's like now it's like the golden age of like the industrialists, like the Rockefeller family, and his stuff with Standard Oil or Vanderbilts or any of the other big families that are they're not taxed well or not taxed at all in some cases and just destroy the planet and kill the soul. And which is so funny, like when he's giving his speech, his political speech, the big iconic freaking picture of him with Kane on the back, talk about how he's going to help the working man. It's like
money and power attract the corrupt bull.
Yep, Frank Herbert was ahead of his time. But talk about like working, helping the working man out and all this other stuff. It's the same stuff we hear, right now. We heard it with Trump in 2024. Oh, we're gonna lower the cost of eggs. Well, the cost of eggs hasn't been lowered. The cost of eggs is rising because of bird flu. Or we're going to make America safer. We just had a plane crash. Donald Trump is a lot like Charles Foster Kane. He's not as charismatic as Charles Foster Kane was because he's not Orson Welles, but he's good at attracting scandal and lying to people and talking about the being such a arbiter of misinformation like Charles Foster Kane was, to the point where it's like almost alarming.
I do love though that was like, and they mentioned that in the newsreel footage at the very beginning, as Mike mentioned. These are the things you're going to see. That was his ambition, was to become elected to government, and he never did.
No, because of the scandal. Because that was back in the days when a scandal could ruin your career. Almost.
Whereas now it's pretty much ignored.
Yeah, but the thing is that he got so close because he was married to the president's niece. I just say, if I have to knock this movie about anything, and maybe it was just due to time, because this movie is just shy of 2 hours, which always blew me away. They really don't go into his first wife and son dying.
Yeah.
No.
You really don't see anything of that, because I feel like maybe not so much for his wife, but to lose his progeny, the one thing that he really could leave the world, is gone. You don't see how that affects him. So that either it's either just they had to move on with the rest of the story, or it's just the guy's a complete narcissist, and it's just like, I'll move on, I'll soldier on, maybe I'll have more children. Well, that's why we're talking about Citizen Kane today, and then next week we'll have another smart movie to talk about here. You got some good movies that did not win Best Picture. So let me get to that real quick.
Right.
Without looking it up, do you all know what won Best Picture in place of Citizen Kane? Kurt? I know Mike knows.
Oh, shoot. Oh, no. I got nothing.
All right. Mike?
Not the Dam Busters.
It was How Green Was My Valley.
Oh, with Ryan McDowell.
Yep.
How green
A young Roddy
was. I
McDowell
thought it was a
before he
long
turned into
time.
an
Was a
ape.
long time ago.
No, 1941. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was in a monkey suit. Then all of a sudden, I was doing this movie. Always had to quote. Oh, fuck! I'll go to war.
Freddie got figured out what he does.
Yeah, Tom Green should have won every award that year.
Yeah, he kind of he did, but they were all Razzies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's yeah. What else? What this won Oscars, but like, did it like win? I think
one Oscar for
Mankiewicz won.
screenplay.
Didn't Mankiewicz win for best screenplay?
Yeah.
Mankiewicz
that's what I thought.
And Wells won for best screenplay.
That's right.
So Wells never won an Oscar for directing, producing, or acting. This was his sole Oscar.
Wow. Shoot.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of effects shots in this movie, like before there were even effect shots. I believe Roger Ebert said that there are as many, if not more, effect shots in here as there are in like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that
they're
whole
all
shot,
practical.
the whole shot where Kane is finishing the review, and he had like Bernstein way in the back and Leland.
Yeah.
If they'd done a regular shot, Leland and Bernstein would been complete blurs. That was Kane in one shot, and then Leland and Bernstein in another shot, and they just spliced them together.
Yeah.
They did that so many times.
Poland did a lot of that. The deep focus was one of his innovations as well.
Yeah.
And again, you have to. I mean, here's the thing about this movie that I have to recommend to people who don't like old movies. It looks like an old movie on its surface. You open up the box, and there are so many things that inspired so much other cinema. There are times I felt like I was watching like a Bergman film or Truffaut film, just in the way it's shot, the way that they handle the dialogue, the way that they handle dialogue shots.
Yeah. I mean, even just like the noise of typewriters while in the newsroom, that's one of my favorite things about the movies like All the President's Men. It's just that it's that constant just that constant noise. It's just just that clicking of the typewriters.
Yeah,
it's just such an interesting sound design, and the conversations over it are great. It's amazing. This movie, was a flop. It won only one Oscar, but the impact that this movie has had since 1941 on not just American cinema but pop culture as a whole. I just watched the Rosebud episode of The Simpsons the other day. Yeah, and that was just it's like the Homer the Vigilante episode, which is just it's a mad world. It's just so chock full of the Easter eggs from Citizen Kane right down to the beginning of the episode when Mr. Burns is having the nightmare and he drops the snow globe and it reflects Smithers in the glass. Yeah, it's just like it's an iconic piece of cinema, and it even if William Randolph Hearst tried to destroy it, it's still its staying power. The fact it's still on the AFI's top slot, and it has been since I don't know how long those AFI ratings have been out.
Over 25 years ago.
Yeah. The British Film Institute has it too. They went
back and they redid it.
It's like 2011?
15 years ago or something. I think it's still the number one film.
Yeah, and the British Film Institute has it high. I think it was number one for a long time on the British Film Institute's top 100 or top 100 movies ever made. This is my favorite directorial debut. My second favorite's Michael Mann's Thief, which I think is a director hitting it out of the park on the first pitch. Yeah, and it's just it's amazing that this movie, for how old it is, and
Yep.
That's true. I mean, people who remember William Randolph Hearst anymore are the people who were old enough to remember Patty Hearst being abducted by the Sudanese Liberation Army. Yep. Which I think is just Andy.
Or anybody that visits was it San Simeon? His
his house. His palatial palace. Yeah, because it's like a national park.
Yeah. I remember seeing a documentary on that not too long ago, and then completely forgetting that they had mentioned that Xanadu was based on it, and then watching the movie and going, "Oh yeah."
I know John has visited it a couple times.
Okay. I think that also might be the. I don't know if either of you saw the movie Babylon. I feel like maybe the house in Babylon at the beginning of that excessively long movie is based on that too. They brought an elephant into the house. A live elephant. Honestly,
that's better than the movie Roar.
My God.
I do have to say, one of the most memorable things I remember seeing at the Academy Museum out in LA, was they actually had the one last remaining Rosebud sled there.
Ooh.
Oh wow!
I guess they made like 3 for the movie, and like 2 of them ended up being burned in different shots.
Right.
And so they only had the one left, and it's there.
Yeah.
That and like the opening like matte shot of Xanadu as the camera's kind of panning in. That just that flat plate that they had the opening with their.
That's incredible.
Oh wow! Did they have the Kane from Citizen Kane?
No, they don't have the Kane.
I told the people on Blue Sky we were going to talk about the Kane from Citizen Kane.
You did.
Promise is kept, Kurt. Promise is kept.
Speaking of Rosebud, we got to talk about the scene before he dies, where he's tearing up the room.
Oh yes.
And it's the symbolism in that one scene. He's tearing apart everything, like all the stuff he has, because it doesn't have the memories, but he gets to the one thing that he remembers from his childhood, the one time in his life when he was happy, and it was the freaking snow globe, and he has it with him when he dies. It's like, that's just, it's just the symbolism in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah, and just the fact that reminds him of the sled. He
just stops and stares at it.
It was like one of those movies that, like, when I was a kid, I watched this movie when I was like 14 years old because it was my mother rented it, and she's like, "No, you're gonna shut up and you're gonna sit down. We're gonna watch this movie." San Simeon. And at the end, currently number 3 on the BFI being 2 being Vertigo. I need to watch that again.
Oh, Vertigo's great.
Gene Diamond, 23 Quaidu.
Oh, French films. Or at least foreign films.
Okay. I stopped because I don't want to butcher. But watching it, and then my mother, I'm like, okay, so what was the deal with that? And she was like, it reminded him of when he was happy. Yeah. And I'm like, what's that? Okay.
Nice.
And it is indeed red. Okay.
Yeah.
Bobo.
Lobo, I know I
Sheriff
say this every
Lobo.
1,000 years or so, but I'll never lose you again. Wait for me,
Bring
sir.
back Sheriff Lobo. Bring back Sheriff Lobo.
And there's the
the Matt.
Ooh,
nice. I love Matt painting is a lost art.
Oh yeah, and
it is.
This one's actually kind of interesting. Speaking of that scene, there's
the mirrors.
There's one shot. There's the shot of him and with just a black, and then they splice them together.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Again, it's just such an innovative film.
Yeah.
it really is, and it back in my day, it's so crazy to think that they just really had nothing to lose. It's like, what if we just put these together? You mean like a sandwich? Yes, like a sandwich. Let's see what it looks like. Can I eat it afterwards? Only if it doesn't work.
Hey,
eat the flammable celluloid, please. I'll have a cigarette afterwards too. It'll go boom in my tummy.
Give me a cigar, will ya?
Yeah. Oh God.
Like a toothpaste.
Bernstein. All right. I love the character of Bernstein, but my God,
he is such a Millhouse.
He is, yeah.
I wouldn't at all be surprised if that's where they got the inspiration for Millhouse from the Martin, because
he's such a little weak toady.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the most polite way to say it. Man, they really milked the whole Son of David thing, didn't they? It's just
the fact that when Thompson comes to interview him, and what's on there above his fireplace? A huge painting of Kane.
Yep. But yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, he is a Millhouse.
Citizen Kane too.
I don't think I did.
I have. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm sure I have seen it at some point.
It's probably somewhere. I have the first 5 seasons of SNL over here on my rack. I'm sure it's somewhere in there.
I'm sure. Yeah, if it's 75, that's the first season. So I'll have to.
Yeah.
Try to find it somewhere. I mean, I do have Peacock.
Baby.
Like crazy. But yeah, I really Mike. Thank you for recommending this one. This was an absolute thrill.
I've been
so you guys like all suggested bangers for this one, because it was like when you guys asked me when Mike messaged me to come on, it was like this or Raging Bull, or I recommended like Network and All the President's Men, because those are again all bangers of all 4 of those movies are bangers, and it's just it's hard to pick because they're all great cinematic experiences.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this one was probably the best one we could pick for talking
for an intro.
Oscar.
We're trying to keep these in order too.
Ages. For forever I've been wanting to review this one on here. In fact, I looked about a year ago and was like, we've never done Citizen Kane?
No, we've done Casablanca. We've never done Citizen Kane.
We've done Caddyshack too.
Yeah, we've done all the Jaws movies. Yeah. What more could you want?
We've done we've even done the Italian Jaws movie.
Yeah. Oh. Sometimes these topics just come up because I want to review a movie that I know that Mike hasn't seen.
Yeah.
Perhaps the nurse, Henri with mustard. Just last words. Gonna eat the sled.
Woody goodness. Roast beef on rye with mustard.
Now I'm like thinking about how that would taste. I love mustard.
Spicy. It's gotta be that spicy brown mustard.
Oh okay. No, I can't do spicy brown. Yellow all the way.
Oh. Yeah, I'm yellow for pretty much everything, but yeah.
I'm a Dijon guy.
But as I was saying though about like finding the topic for this month, I was like, I desperately want to review Network.
Yeah.
And I was like,
one of my
the only way Mike's ever gonna watch it. So
yeah. That was a weird best pick. I mean, not weird, but like I like Rocky. Rocky is a great movie. That movie rose up against one of the best political thrillers who probably ever made, All the President's Men.
I will, you know what? I will get more into it next week when we actually talk about the movie. But yes, every movie on that list, sans one of them, which was the obvious loser in the category. It could have gone to any of them. We could have just dedicated this month to 1976.
Yeah.
But we can't.
Or 1977. I don't know.
77 is an interesting year too.
Oh no, I think Star Wars should have won everything, as you can see from the poster behind me here.
Yes, exactly.
And my T-shirt.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
All right. Well, hey, guys, what a great conversation. I can't wait to put this one up on my letterbox because I have to hold off on my my star ratings until I haven't rated a movie 5 stars in forever. This one's definitely getting it. Especially this past week, I was pleasantly surprised by a movie. Very much happy with another movie, and then knew exactly.
I have them behind me over here on my rack. My special editions are right over here. Nice. We can watch them sometime. I just need to find a VCR to hook up to my laptop so I can stream them over Discord.
I still have the THX widescreen VHS.
I have those over here. Those are over here
in the big long box.
Oh no, mine's on the block. Mine's in the short box, but mine's that
Okay.
the last ones that came out in '96 before George did the special editions.
Yep,
That I
that's what
got
I
at the
have
record
with
store
with the Vader with the
I
Vader
got that for
box.
$7, and it was the best $7 I ever spent. Because like the guy's like, how much you want for these? He said, I don't know. He looked on his phone to see how much they were going on or on eBay. He's like, $7, done.
You guys want to be really depressed though? One of the times I was out in California with Jonna, we went into an antique shop. There was a VHS of Star Wars on there.
My back.
In an antique shop.
Oh,
was it the CBS Fox release?
No. It was the Vader cover.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yep. Wow.
Laserdisc version was Star. Those were good. Never owned a Laserdisc player, but I did get to watch on a friend's Laserdisc. So yeah. So guys, thank you so much. Yes. But as I was saying, I'm also trying to get caught up on this year's Best Picture nominees. It's tough.
Yeah.
I've watched 3. And the discourse around Emilia Perez is exactly the discourse around Emilia Perez.
Yeah. I do love a good movie discourse.
Yeah, this is a weird one.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. James has been getting good at like restoring VHS tapes. We just watched he ordered off of Amazon or off of I think it was off of eBay or Amazon or something like that, a VHS tape of HR Puff and stuff.
Oh god.
So we watched 4 episodes last Saturday night. Me, him, Triv, and a couple other people on Dan's Discord watched 4 episodes of HR Puff and stuff. Holy God.
Yes.
$250 for a Laserdisc. No thanks.
Yep.
I thought physical media is getting too expensive now. It's even worse. That's a lot worse.
I was just thinking about, Puff and stuff because all I can think of is the Mr. Show.
Oh yeah.
HR Puff and stuff. Come on.
Yeah.
Because that's why they named it that. Because that's what all the writers were doing.
Trips.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was a fun time. Saturday night watch because I haven't watched HR Puff and stuff in ages. So
I've never watched Puff.
Oh my god!
He used to show it on TV Land on like Saturday mornings or whatever when I was like a teenager. Yeah, that's fair. He had 2 mold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
Yes, the altered state of Massachusetts. The gurgles, the magic bomb. So anyway, let's conclude our conversation here. I can't wait, Mike, till next week. Yeah, he just always looked like a child. He was the same. That was the Artful Dodger in Oliver.
Say to yourself,
Jack
not
Wild.
Dead. One black mold spot can ruin a tape.
Yep, exactly. Try making beer. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for having this conversation. Kurt, let them know where are they going to find you.
You can only find me on 2 places anymore because I just deactivated my Facebook and my Instagram because I don't want to spend any more of my energy on Mark Zuckerberg's websites anymore. So you can find me over. Yep. Yeah, Scooby-Doo. You can find me over on Blue Sky at Swayze of Arabia. And you can find me on Letterboxd, Swayze of Arabia. It's also linked on my Blue Sky. Also, heads up, anybody, this Saturday night at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, Triv from Trivial Theater and I are going to be hosting a Riff Tracks the Game over on her YouTube channel to kind of distract everybody from the horrible, horrible situation we're living in, where we all pray for a giant meteor to just end it all. So if you want a distraction for a bit, you come by. Even if you don't want to play, just spend some time with us and the goofy people like Joe and James will be there, and a couple other, some other Brits will be there.
Man.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'll be watching
Royal Rumble
that
evening
with my son. So
doing
that instead.
But yeah, 7 Central or 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Anybody wants to come? If you don't want to play, just hang out with us. It's a lot of there's always a fun because we always just try to see which one of us can outshock each other with the horrible ripsery, right?
Oh man.
Oh man, that sucks, dude. Well, he's always good company, anyways. Joe and I are from the same neck of the woods. He lives probably about 30 or 40 miles from me, so we're both Hoosiers. So we're stuck in this horrible hellscape.
Oh man, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Where you get used to it after a while. We know what to expect.
Awesome.
But but my letterbox reviews, I just wrote one for Body Double, Brian De Palma's Body Double, Craig Wasson, where it's like a modern '80s version of Rear Window with Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
It's supposed to warm up this weekend. It might be hell then. But yeah, I also write reviews of some of the bad movies I watch on Friday nights in the Popcorn and Pain Discord. So those don't get published on my Blue Sky, but they're on my Letterboxd account. So if you want to read what I write about a Godfrey Ho movie or some Asylum crap, because we watch a lot of that. Oh God. Oh yeah, we broke Triv when we just said when Dan said cheddar. And Triv broke. She started laughing and did not know why. I think she laughed for a good 5 minutes. It was the funniest damn thing I've ever seen.
I mean, the cheddar is the funniest of all cheeses. So
it is.
Yeah. But that's my pluggables because I only have 2 of them anymore.
And Mike and I host a little podcast called Geek Salad. You can check that out wherever you get podcasts. We just recorded our latest episode on some of our pop culture recommendations for you to take into 2025 with. There's some good stuff on there, so I can't wait for you to hear that episode. It's also a short episode, too, because we got a bigger episode in the works. Other than that, you can find us on...
oh, my Lord. Chicagoland's favorite liquor.
You can find us on the socials. We are still on Facebook, primarily for engagement that I have to do with theater. So I'm going to have to be on there no matter what. But we are primarily on Blue Sky at Geek Salad Radio and maintaining our Twitter presence, even though we don't use it, also at Geek Salad Radio. And that's mainly so they can't take our domain and turn it into a bot. So I am not letting them reanimate that corpse. So anyway.
It's going to become the burner account for the Dogecoin.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. I just wanted all to burn down right now. My Joker origin story is that they put a crypto cafe around the corner from where I live. So yeah, they exist.
Oh no.
And they're just as insufferable as you think they'd be.
Yeah.
Joe, I will say you have to use it though. Retweet something. Respond to somebody because they will feel that they will look at the count as being dormant. So just be aware of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just be aware. But anyway, Kurt, thanks for joining us. Glad we can talk about a good movie and a really good movie at that. I feel like the goodness of this one, the fresh mountain penis of this movie, has far exceeded all the badness of all the movies that you have reviewed with us in the past.
I don't know. Caddyshack 2 was...
I don't know. I would rather watch Caddyshack 2 than I think Jaws: The Revenge or I can't really say that about the Star Wars Holiday Special because
I did it with the riff tracks.
Yeah, I was gonna say because that's the only way I could watch it too is with Travis. Oh yeah. I wish I could have been on for that Godzilla -1, but I'm glad that you guys saved me for this one because I could talk about that movie till the cows come home.
Yeah, exactly.
Again,
and I have been sick
4 times
forever. So
yeah.
As I'm losing my voice again. So anyway, Kurt, thanks a lot. Guys, thanks for joining us. John, thanks for joining us as well. And we will see you next week with another Oscar runner-up. And until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth. That'd be nerdful. We'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Adios.